Well, funny you mentioned the other guy because Ricochet followed this up. He was in the back with Renee Moxleygood, and I wrote, "Oh God, he's going to talk." And he was talking about Brody King and his tournament match tonight. But what was the comment that they were making on Twitter about Ricochet and his interviews?
This is why WWE never gave him a mic.
Yeah, they should have given him that Twilight Zone episode surgery where the guy bet the other guy that he couldn't refrain from speaking for a year, and he'd give him like a life-changing amount of money. And then after the year, the guy had never spoken. He said, "All right, you won, you beat me, but I don't have the money. I can't pay you. I never thought you'd be able to go through with it. I'm broke. I'm destitute." And then the guy fucking pulls his shirt open and revealed that to win the bet for the money that he wanted, he had his vocal cords severed. I'm surprised they didn't have somebody cut Ricochet's vocal cords. He might be a bigger star if you didn't hear him spin and maybe break his fingers so he can't talk on Twitter. If Ricochet could not communicate in any way with the fans, I think he'd be a superstar.
See, Lucha Underground had it right. They made him a masked luchador with a manager. He didn't talk at all.
Well, remember, that's the idea when I saw him as Ricochet in NXT or whatever. That's the idea I had for him, not knowing that they'd already done it. Because he doesn't do himself any favors, not only when he doesn't argue and whine and bitch at random fans on Twitter over and over, but also when he just sounds like such a fucking goofus or a doofus. What letter would precede oofus?
I think you could use either one of them. If you're a goofy and a doofus, it's goofus. So it depends on what you think. The other thing is, if you notice, they're doing more of those WWE style introductions that they were doing on Raw under the previous regime, where Renee, it was even her back then doing it, says, "Ladies and gentlemen, here is my guest, Ricochet." And then the person awkwardly walks in from a foot away and they don't say anything for like a weird second. And then, "All right, you got no pop. Let me go into the questioning."
Yeah, well, see, they're thinking the people at home are in their living room are popping. Guys sitting there in his fucking semen-stained underwear with his hand in his crotch, the other hand in a fucking bag of microwave popcorn, and hadn't shaved in 3 days, but he's going to start cheering, and you don't want your first words to be drowned out by the people at home popping. It's odd, very odd. They're all odd. They're all odd.